We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Let's go.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Browns, much improved from Week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. First carry for the second-year man. It's Najee Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works best scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Pickett setting up the screen. Harris. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, they were advancing the ball. They had a couple first downs under their belt, but a big mistake there on the opening drive leads to 6 points the other direction.
And what a good read that was on his part, Brandon, because it prevents a possible scoring drive with how they were moving things along. And it gives the defense the early advantage. It was going to be a definitely entertaining battle between these units.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
On second down, this is Harris. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And Ndamukong Suh unblockable there as he got in there to make the stop behind the line.
Two things to watch. First, his strength in being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Pickett. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. And Ndamukong Suh forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. 3rd and long after the sack. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Graham. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And taken right on the 30. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Watson off play action. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. From the red zone now, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points are given away? It could cost them a ball game.
And some room to maneuver. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 56 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll run again with Harris. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Looking to throw, Pickett. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. He'll buy some time right. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez to punt this thing away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 68 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running.
Okay, ready?
They fire this one quick. And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Browns. a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake in the ball and knock it free.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They go up the middle with Chubb. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Watson. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. York able to send this one through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On 2nd and 15 now. Pickett. That swung out wide to Harris. It'll be a gain of 5, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
For the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. Now Pickett. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. On 1st down, Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Harris running straight ahead. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He connected on his first, this from 41. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it again with Chubb, and he is met in